Oh, sorry, mate. Hello, welcome to the program. Look, so many people have great ideas, but they just stay an idea. They don't take them any further at all. Today we're going to meet a couple of young blokes who have come up with a terrific idea, taken that first step, but need a bit of help in continuing the journey. So let's meet Alex and Daniel. Guys, how are you? Sorry about that, Alex. Sort of keep over your own side though next time. Daniel, tell us about the product.
The product is an airline blanket, and it's designed to help people get more sleep and less jet lag on a plane.
Alex, demonstrate. I feel a bit like Houdini, I must admit here. It's a bit like a blanket straitjacket, is it?
Oh, not quite, but we've got the attachments here. They're simply Velcro attached. Now you can just pop it over your head and flick our shoulders in the back. Our arms actually go inside what we call the double-sided sling.
Yeah.
And here we are, nice and comfortable, and you don't actually utilise the armrest, so we're not fighting over seating space.
Okay, so it keeps you nice and tucked in. Now, how did you guys come up with the idea?
The idea just came from myself, being a frequent flyer with QANTAS, and I just wanted to get some sleep after coming home from work from the western states.
So what are the issues you're facing at the moment? You've built some prototypes.
That's right. The issues is production, and also getting the contacts to present our concept to people. Yeah.
So you've put your money where your mouth is.
Yes, we have.
You're sort of in a bit of a no man's land at the moment. You've got the product, you've got something to see. Now you've got to get sales, and how do you market it?
That's correct.
All right, look, I reckon we can put together a terrific team. Number one, we'll send you to a seasoned inventor who's been through all this before. We'll give you a good reality check on whether your product's got any future at all. And also a sales and marketing guru, but we'll point you in the right direction to actually turn it into a business. You happy with that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, excellent. All right, let's get some sleep. We've got a lot of work to do in the meantime. Keep over your side, will you, Alex? Okay.
Roger Lassalle is an innovation expert with vast experience helping inventors take their products to market. He also knows how hard that process can be.
Every inventor, and I'm not criticising you at all, I'm an inventor, I have the same passion. When we come up with an idea, we always think it's a winner. And in fact, I've written a number of books on this subject, and the first sentence in the first book says, have you ever written a losing business plan? I've not. They're all winners until you go to market, and then suddenly you say, oh, no one wants to buy this. And this is the greatest problem. The single biggest risk in business is market risk. You don't sell as many as you thought. Now, you've possibly done a business plan, and you've probably even done a spreadsheet.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And this shows how fabulously wealthy you'll be in 5 years, correct?
Well, that's the hope.
Hey, we all do it. Yeah. And if we don't get the right numbers, we fiddle with the numbers in the spreadsheet till we get the number we want. Most often we're wrong. And we fiddle with those numbers because we have our passion. It's another mistake people make. As soon as they get an idea, they lodge a patent. Sure. And most often, before the product gets to market, if it ever does, there's been several more iterations and improvements, and the successive provisional patents lodged, each one costing perhaps $4,000 or $5,000. You're far better to keep it under wraps, show people who are skilled in the art, such as in this case an airline, get their feedback, help you with some design improvements, get it right, then lodge a provisional patent, if they're showing interest in purchasing it. So that is a common mistake. We patent too early, before we've done all the trials, and we think there's a market that really might not exist.
So how much money should we be spending on this?
This is an excellent question, and it's a question that I think part of the answer is how much money do you have? The first thing I would caution you about is do not go and get a container load of these made and bring them in and say, now what do we do? If you can't sell this based on a trial of 50 pieces, find the next idea, folks. This is not going to work. It's as simple as that. I mean, I'm trying to be honest here. This is a very difficult business. This business of trying to make money out of inventions and new products. It is really fraught with danger. Now, I know one fellow who's lost his house 3 times with a single invention. And there's another saying, I love to talk about this. Have you heard the saying, persistence wins?
Yeah, sure.
Forget it. Forget it. That is the dumbest advice you would ever get. No amount of persistence will turn a dog into a star. If it's a bad idea, it's a bad idea. You have to know when to stop. So be passionate, be in love with your idea, and you are clearly, and I admire that, and I see it in all inventors, but understand the risks, understand that there is a point where you say, we've spent enough on this, let's find the next idea.
After the break, tips on selling in the big idea and how to find the right people to sell it to.
The best people who are good at selling things actually really aren't doing what I call the hard sell. They just help their customers make better buying decisions.
This business travel tip is brought to you by QANTAS. It's not all about price. It may be worth paying a little more for greater flexibility in your airfare. Alex Minney and Daniel Geldard are keen to pitch their Aussie traveller blanket to the airlines. But how do they do it? I've sent them to meet our sales expert, Kieran McGuigan from Stripe for Sales, to help them get comfy with the sales process.
Here's the first thing I want you to start thinking about from a marketing and sales perspective, and that's the difference between the customer and the consumer. Because we've got two different groups that we're marketing to here. An airline who's looking at a product such as this, they're thinking about, well, okay, I'm not using it, but why would I buy it? That's where I want to introduce you to a position that I think will help you and your business, and any business for that matter, sell more effectively. And it's what I call the consequence principle. If you're looking at QANTAS, for instance, and there's a particular officer within QANTAS who'd be responsible for purchasing this, what's the consequence if they don't use our products and service? The best people who are good at selling things actually really aren't doing what I call the hard sell. They just help their customers make better buying decisions.
So how do you get to the right people in the organisations?
Okay. Well, you said the right thing. How do you get to the right people? Okay. And the right person often isn't the person who's got the badge or the name. Okay. The right person is someone who's you're going to have a conversation with, or an influencer. So when you pick up the telephone and make a cold call, guess what's going to happen?
Well, they're going to hang up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, most people are polite. They'll politely say no, or he's unavailable. What'll happen after the 9th or 10th call? They're still going to say no, he's unavailable, I'm sorry, he can't meet, etc. We have to work on the basis that why are they going to say yes to you? Okay, because really go back to that consequence principle, there's no consequence to them saying that. Okay. One of the easiest ways that's going to get people to say yes is going to be by reference. Websites like LinkedIn.com allow you to build networks and find people in organizations and find a contact path, if you like, through that. Another website I recommend that you have a look at is a website called jigsaw.com.
Okay.
Yeah? And that's essentially a database which is available, it's global, and you can type in particular officers and particular jobs, and it'll give you that data, and you can buy it down one at a time, as opposed to buying large lists from list brokers. So key things you need to have: lists of different customers and consumers, and then start building from a sales perspective a contact plan. So you use a customer relationship management database. Now, there's many different flavors in the marketplace. Probably the dominant one is Salesforce.com. Mm-hmm. It's very cheap, it's very effective, and there's a general rule in sales which says that new customers can't make a yes decision until they have had 5 or more contacts. So the question then is, after I cold called them and left a voicemail and they didn't respond, after I shipped them the product and they got it and they didn't respond, I mean, when we're beating our head against a brick wall, what do we do to get through? Well, I think the key thing here is that you need to have a number of different lines in the water when you're fishing. You can't just be reliant on the one prospect. The more prospects that you have in the marketplace, the greater you're going to hedge your bets that one of them is going to come off. And really, we only need one of them to say yes, and you're in business.
This technology building block is brought to you by Telstra Business.
Have you ever needed help after hours for your business? It's frustrating having to wait until the next morning when you need to deal with something urgent. Telstra understands that you can't predict when you'll need advice. They've listened to their customers, so now you can call 24 hours, 7 days a week if you need to talk to a specialist business consultant. This service, available exclusively to ABN or ACN customers, is called Business Class. You can also access your account online or request service changes like adjusting your international roaming status for those last-minute trips. And when only face-to-face assistance will do, trained business consultants are available at over 50 Telstra business centres nationwide. They'll even come to your place if it's more convenient. Telstra are really making some major changes to the way they do business, so they're better able to support the way you do yours.
To find out more about Telstra Business Service, go to telstra.com/business. After the break, we meet another team of innovators and find out how they keep racing ahead.
We need to be able to ensure that everything that we do, we're capable of doing while we're on the road.
This segment is brought to you by Telstra Business. Building a winning racing team takes constant innovation. I've sent gadget guy Pete Lucina to meet Mark Roworth and Campbell Little from Ford Performance Racing to find out how they use data to drive their innovations.
So Mark, this is an absolute hive of activity. Tell me a bit about the business side of Ford Performance Racing.
It's a fairly unique business in a lot of ways, but at the same time, we actually have a lot of the same attributes that any other mobile business would.
Right.
We have our home office where we actually do a lot of our engineering work from and all of our business side. Mm-hmm. But uniquely, we spend about 100 days a year on the road, which adds to, I guess, the complexity of how we go about doing our business.
So that makes you an incredibly mobile business, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely, and I guess that means that we need to be able to ensure that everything that we do, we're capable of doing while we're on the road.
So as you are so mobile and you need constant access to data, how do you do that? What equipment are you using?
We use a variety of different things. When we're at a race meeting, we find that there's a need for us to be able to remain connected with a lot of the technologies and so on that are around us. So as a consequence of that, we use the Telstra Ultimate device as our primary method of staying connected.
So Mark, most people wouldn't realise how much data your business actually uses between the telemetry to the cars, getting information backwards and forwards from the driver to the team. You really are a high data use business.
Information's king. Being able to get that data in as quick as possible time, having our engineers analyse that data and make decisions on the fly is the difference between us being able to succeed in what we do or potentially fail.
So Campbell, tell us a bit about the nuts and bolts of what you do with the data.
Well, there's obviously a lot of different data coming up. We get a timing stream that comes from V8 Supercars, which is analysis of every sector of the racetrack. We link that with the data from our car, where we get a beacon that passes every time he passes different sections of the racetrack. So we can join those two together.
Right.
And then we get a video feed from within the car, and we join the video and the data together and try to analyse those for sort of personal traits from the car.
So that's coming off the track. You're analysing some of it here. You're sending some of it back to head office.
Yep.
That's a lot of data to be shifting
for
around.
a 40-minute session, we'd get about 300 meg of data from the car,
right,
plus a video stream as well, which would be typically 1.5 gig, thereabouts.
You're moving so much data, reliability has to be a big factor in your thinking in terms of getting this information around. How do you do it?
That's where the Telstra mobile broadband comes into its own. We don't have to have access to internet any other way. We can do it from my laptop straight to work, and it all works for us.
To find out how your business could benefit by using a Telstra Ultimate device on the Telstra NextG network, go to telstra.com/business. This business building block is brought to you by Westpac.
Managing a healthy cash flow can be a big challenge for new businesses. A list of outstanding invoices and a cash flow forecast are two great tools to help you manage your cash flow effectively. The Aged Debtor List outlines who your customers are and when you should receive payment for invoices issued. Effective management of the Aged Debtor List will help to ensure that you're paid promptly and will keep the cash flowing into your business. The cash flow forecast combines your assumptions about when you should receive payments with the assumptions of when you are likely to pay out cash to cover your business expenses. Done realistically, the cash flow forecast can help you see cash shortfalls or surpluses in the future. So how can you improve the cash flow in your business? A great way is to sign up to a Westpac Financial Education Financial Management 101 short course. This course is available to all businesses and will provide you with easy to implement techniques to drive cash and profits in your business.
To find out more about Westpac's Financial Management 101 short course, go to westpac.com.au/businessbuilders. After the break, Alex and Daniel get their big break as they find out what's involved in pitching to big business.
You've got the guru here from Qantas, Phil, in charge of in-flight product development. Go for it.
This competition is brought to you by Qantas. Qantas is celebrating small business with an amazing opportunity. Every week, one business could win $1,000 worth of Qantas flights to use for business travel. How do you enter? Easy. Go to qantas.com/SME and tell us in 25 words or less how Qantas can help manage your business travel.
Well, guys, how did you go with our experts? I did warn you about Roger. He gave you a reality check. You happy?
We are.
Not too shell-shocked? Shattered, Alex?
No, tough cookie.
Okay. You'll get through it. Fighting words, yeah, we'll see. And Kieran gave you some terrific tips on the sales and the marketing side, particularly on how to pitch to an airline. Well, now is your chance to, walk the talk. You've got the guru here from Qantas, Phil, in charge of in-flight product development. Go for it. He's all yours.
Well, the question Alex and I would have, Phil, would be what would be our next step to pitch this to Qantas?
I think for us, really, you'd have to be demonstrating what is the point of difference of your product. We'll be contacted by a number of different companies pitching similar ideas every day. So the main thing is understanding what is different and unique about yours that meets a particular need that we have on board. Constant innovation is also really important for us. We like to make sure that we're always refreshing our product on board, keeping it interesting while still meeting customer needs. Flexibility is absolutely critical for us as well. We're in a very changeable international and domestic environment. So being able to respond to changes in specification fairly quickly is really important for us as well. And account management is also really essential as well. That's sometimes actually what differentiates one supplier from another, is being able to pick up the phone and have a quick, honest conversation with us. So all of those things together really put together, I guess, a package that is quite attractive to us when we're sourcing product.
But Phil, in reality, Qantas, massive global brand, massive global operation, surely it'd have to be a massive company to supply to Qantas.
No, in fact, we work very well with some very small companies, and there are some companies that started off as a very, very small operation that together with Qantas have grown very much over time. Buzz Products down in Melbourne is one that started producing us in-flight children's kits some years ago, and because they were adaptable and flexible and innovative and really partnered with us, they're now producing our in-flight amenity kits for First and Business. They're also producing our sleeper suits on board as well, and in fact they're starting to produce some of the products that are part of our next generation check-in offering that's recently launched in Perth. So sometimes a small company actually can work in your favour.
Well, Phil, we're getting to the stage now we're looking at producing this. What are the things we need to look out for to make it an attractive product and easy for Qantas to pick up?
So one of the key things to begin with, it needs to be durable. But we need to have something that's going to be able to withstand an industrial dry cleaning or washing machine cycle, so high temperatures quite often. Safety is also really important for us as well, so very stringent international tests around flammability need to be passed. We need to make sure the product also doesn't create static on board, because sometimes static can impact aircraft systems like in-flight entertainment. So in those kind of scenarios, we'd weave a carbon fibre through the textile as well to get rid of any of that kind of risk. And then also being socially and environmentally responsible is critical for us as well. So whoever you're partnering with from a production and development perspective needs to make sure they're complying with very stringent international standards around ethical use of labour and environmentally responsible practices, I suppose.
It is just a fascinating business and fascinating process. Guys, you happy with that?
Well, fantastic, it's great.
Going to go for it?
Yes, we are.
Beauty, excellent. We'll keep following it. And Phil, thank you so much for your time. It's been really invaluable.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it. Now, if you'd like any more information on today's program or any of our past episodes, go to the website yahoo7.com.au/small business. We have lots of other tips that we couldn't fit in today's program on the website, extended interviews and the like. And also, while you're there, don't forget to enter the competition and you could win free flights courtesy of QANTAS. I'll catch you next time.
Next week, we meet an entrepreneur who's keen to expand his empire and make further inroads selling his product overseas. And don't forget to visit our website, yahoo7.com.au/small business, where you'll find loads of video tips from our experts and tons of practical articles to help you with your business.